We use our physical senses to create an internal representation of the world. Through those senses, the brain creates a map that dictates our perception of reality. It becomes tuned by what it sees over time, so it can make the attempt of predicting what is coming next and make our lives run more efficiently. On a subconscious level, we immediately make a series of deductions based on this internal map and anything new that is coming in through our physical senses. For example, let's suppose that every morning for quite some time, you see a man in his 20s walking a dog. Then one day, a much older lady comes down the street walking the same dog. Subconsciously, your mind would instantly begin coming up with all different types of reasons why this has happened. You might imagine that the woman is the man's mother or another close relative. You might think that they come from the same household. You may begin to wonder if the man is sick and unable to walk his dog, or maybe he's given the dog away to a neighbor. The point is, our brains weave intricate stories based on what our minds perceive, pulling material from our memories to create our lives as logical and consistent. These are merely assumptions based on what the mind has already encountered and knows. But our mind always uses our past memories to make predictions that cause us to think and act in specific ways. This is extremely important because this process runs a large part of our lives. Our ability to use our map to link past memories with other past memories and make predictions about those memories that prompt us to think and act is a cognitive ability that can be used to our advantage. Through this process, we can gain new insight to create new experiences. And without it, we would live in a very disconnected way. So what does all of this mean when it comes to manifestation? These predictions and the following thoughts and actions occur before we are consciously aware of them. We automatically connect our present and future with past events. And for the most part, this is excellent news. We know things such as touching a hot stove will probably burn, and that gathering with our friends is fun, all based on the fact that our past memories that were created with our physical senses and stored away say so. Our brains make hundreds of predictions in this way each and every day. But if our internal map tells us that we can't reach our goals, for one reason or another, based on past memory, the brain will be in charge of our thinking and our actions regarding that as well. And there's a simple way to trick it by giving it new conscious awareness of wanting to think and act in a way that aligns with those goals. In other words, you teach your brain to live life in advance and remember the experience in detail when something triggers that memory, or pre-live it, so to speak. Here's how to do it. Choose something that you would like to create in your life. Just take a few moments to mentally visualize this and make it a rich scene by using all of your senses. Once you have this future memory in your mind, attach it to something you already do every day. For example, if you tie your shoes every day, tie your shoes while you're imagining this scene in vivid detail. And do this each time you tie your shoes until your brain begins to refer to this memory without you consciously giving it instructions to do so. In other words, when you're tying your shoes and remembering the vision that you're installing, without consciously telling your brain to remember it, you will know that it's been installed on a subconscious level. It will have become a memory that your brain refers to in a habitual way. So the main point is that you're just attaching the image of the future that you want to something that you already habitually do. Another way to do this is by creating a connection to an object. For example, if your goal is to create wealth in your life, attach your image to money. Just hold any denomination of money in your hand while you create the image. And keep repeating this until you know that the memory is installed on a subconscious level. Once the memory has been established through repetition, your mind will recall it each time you have money in your hand. And if your previous thoughts and actions towards money and wealth were of a negative nature, you will have stored a more positive response regarding that. With this process, you're making images strong and memorable, so your brain begins to use them as reference to your everyday perception and reality. This works because you're coding information to be remembered into things you already remember to do or things you already are connected with. A transformation of consciousness is more than just a change of attitude. It actually produces structural and chemical changes in the brain that affect what a person experiences in a number of different ways. Because the brain uses our memories to create our experience, when we do this intentionally, we can make massive changes in very simplistic ways.